Hi everyone and welcome to today's session. So equipment wise again, only a strap if you need one for forward folding. So let's crack on. If you want to get yourself seated comfortably, be that cross-legged, legs out in front of you. Let's rest the hands over the knees. Really lift the heart, let the shoulders rest from the ears. And let's find our breath. Allow your attention just to dive into the breath. And when we're ready, taking it a little bit deeper. So we in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Taking the breath in through the back of the nose, back of the throat, and exhaling with our mouth closed. So keeping the eyes closed, we're just going to rest our hands onto the mat in front of us and just start to creep our fingers out like little spiders. Extending through the spine, extending through the arms. Taking the head down towards the direction of the mat. It may be that you're a little bit further up than that, so just make sure you keep the spine extended. And lifting ourselves back up, opening the eyes and coming into some side stretches now. So taking the left hand onto the ground to start, the right arm comes up over the ears. Some of you may want to come onto your forearms here to really feel that lovely stretch through the side of the body. Inhale, lift, swapping over sides, right hands down, stretching out over the left arm. So either on your hands, it may be that your side stretch looks a little bit more like this, that's okay. As long as you're feeling the stretch on the side of the body, then you're doing it right. Lifting ourselves back up, both arms to meet. And then bringing them down to the heart. We're going to interlace the fingers, the back of the hands to the heart. And we're going to inhale here. And exhale, press out through the arms and dome the shoulder blades. Then we inhale, come back to heart. And exhale, press the hands up towards the sky this time. Taking the gaze to follow. Inhale to heart. Exhale. Forward. Inhale. Exhale. A few more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Back to heart. Releasing the hands down, taking a breath. And let's come onto our knees. Ready to do a few rounds of cat-cow. So setting yourself up in a nice solid tabletop. Inhale, head up, lifting up through the tailbone, pulling the heart through the arms, taking the head up. And exhale, curling round. So we want to suck the belly button into the spine, stretch through the shoulders, curl the spine. Inhale, lift again. And exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Going back to neutral, we're going to hook our toes and move into downward facing dog. So lifting up with our bum, adjusting the feet. So remember, fingers spread wide, shoulders rolled outwards from the ears, feet about hip distance apart, pressing the chest towards the thighs, taking the gaze through the legs. You want to take a bit of a lift up through the tailbone as well to keep that stretch through the back of the legs. But just remember, if you find that your weight is all forward and you're curling the spine, then bend the knees. Walking our feet forward to the front of the mat, coming into ragdoll, holding the elbows, little sway from side to side. And gently coming up, inhale, hands into prayer. We're going to take a stretch over to the right, back through centre, over to the left. Through to centre, we're going to take hold of the low spine, taking the hips forward, chest up, gentle back bend here. And coming back to neutral, bringing yourself at the top of the mat into our mountain pose. So feet together, thighs together. Let's take a breath. And exhale. Inhale, coming onto our toes, lifting up through the arms. Coming into chair pose now. So the heels come down. We're going to roll the arms back. We're going to sit ourselves into our chair. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, forward fold here. So bend the knees if we need. Inhale, extend that halfway lift. Fingertips to floor, hands to the shin, making sure the legs are straight. So stepping or jumping back into a plank pose. Coming to the knees if we need. Inhale here. Exhale, down we go. Inhale, lift. We're going to do up facing dog. So don't rush through into downward dog just yet. We're going to go through a few more heart opening poses. And bringing yourself back down towards the ground. Bring the fingertips either side of the mat. And we're going to gently press into the ground and lift up with the chest here. So your arms do not need to be straight. If you have the bend in you, then do take them straight, but please listen to your body. So early in the practice. And bringing them down. Bring the arms the length of the mat, palms facing up. Pressing hips into the ground, lift the legs, lift the arms, lift the chest. Pressing back with the fingertips. Another breath here. Lowering down. Bringing yourself into child's pose. So opening the knees if it feels comfortable, sinking yourself back. Fingertips spread far away from you. We're going to lift the body up slightly. We're going to walk our hands over towards the right. We're going to press out through the left fingertips and pull back with the left hips. Still keeping in that child pose, but we're just moving to the side to do it. So you should feel the stretch all down the left side. Let's bring ourselves through centre and over to the other side. So pressing out through the right fingertips, pulling back with the left hip. Sorry, pulling back with the right hip. So right fingertips, right hip. Bringing ourselves through to centre, hooking the toes, downward facing dog. Making the adjustment to find your form. Taking a breath. We're going to take the right knee in towards the centre of the mat and stretch out through the left of the body. And the other side, come back through centre and bend the left knee, stretch out through the right. Move through centre. We're going to bring ourselves now into warrior one. So taking the left foot out 45, the right one comes to the front of the mat, lifting up through the arms, sinking into the hips. Make sure the shoulders are away from the ears, the gaze is slightly upward, feeling strong in our warrior one. Moving into triangle now. So we're going to straighten everything up and turn the hips to the side. The arms are going to come out. So everything stays straight. Inhale here. And exhale, move forward like someone's grabbed hold of that front hand, and then the hand comes down to wherever it naturally falls on this leg. It could be up here, it could be down by the toes. So then pull in the ribs, hold on to the hips, and taking the left fingertips up. So all of your body should be stacked over that front leg. So if you find that your bum's creeping out, your chest is pulling forward, that may be your key to come up slightly so we can get everything stacked correctly. Take the gaze down, lifting ourselves back up. So we're going to do another one of those triangles. Inhale. Exhale, forward, hands down, finding your form. This time either going to stay here, we're going to take the left hand behind our back, trying to find the top of the thigh if we can, or just grab hold of the t-shirt, but keeping the form of the rest of the body. The gaze is either upwards or just directly forward if that feels better on the neck. Gaze down, let's unhook ourselves and bring ourselves back into that triangle stance. Moving into warrior two now, inhale. Exhale, sinking down with that front leg. So hinging in that front leg, you may want to take the back leg out a little bit more so you can sink deep into that lunge. You want your fingers, press either side of the room, arms in a straight line. Right forearm onto the thigh, taking the left hand over the ear, stretching out through the side of the body. Again, everything's stacking up over that front leg. Gaze down, lifting ourselves back up into warrior two. And coming into a low lunge from here. So we're going to lift up with the arms, twist that back foot and sink down with the back knee, taking our weight forward. Hands are going to come down to frame the front foot. And now we're going to try and slide this right foot underneath this and bring it back. So we're in our tabletop and we're pressing up with the right heel. We're either going to stay here or we're going to reach around with our left hand, grab the foot, press the foot into the hand and come into a bit of a back bend here if it feels okay. And releasing down back onto all fours. Let's do one round of cat-cow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, curl round. Coming to neutral, tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale. Walking the hands back to the back of the mat. Taking hold of the shin, inhale, lifting up halfway again. Finding an extension through the back of the legs and the spine. And then taking the hands at the back of our legs now to draw ourselves in. So either round the heel or you may want to take it further up the leg. Drawing yourself in. So ribs over thighs, head down towards the shin. And releasing. Moving the hands back into downward facing dog, taking a breath in. And exhale. Stepping or walking forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Moving into chair, bum down, arms up. Going to stay here for a moment or two, then we're going to do the same flow on the other side. So continue to take the breath in and exhale. One more here. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, stepping or jumping back into plank. Finding your form for chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, down we go. Inhale, upward facing dog. Remember, don't go to downward dog straight away. If you need to take the hands further forward in up dog, then do. But take note of the shoulders, they shouldn't be around here, opening up. And then lowering ourselves down. Now fingertips are either side of the mat, elbows pointing up. Pressing into the ground with our fingertips, lifting up again. Your arms do not need to be straight here, just do as much as you feel that you're able to, and just take the fingertips further forward if that feels better. And lowering down. Arms the length of the body, palms facing up, ready for locust pose. Pressing the hips into the ground, lifting the legs, lifting the arms, lifting the chest. And maintaining that length of breath in. Exhale. And again. Gliding ourselves back now into child's pose. So the bum comes down towards the heels. So you can either keep the knees wide, or if that's a bit uncomfortable, just bring the thighs together and rest your body over the legs instead. Some people find that a little bit more comfortable, but this really should be a comfortable resting pose for you. Lifting up through the body, we're going to walk our hands over to the right again. So we're going to stretch out through the left fingertips, pull back with the left hips. Bringing ourselves back to centre and over to the other side. Pressing out through the right fingertips, pulling back with the right hips. Moving back to centre. Hooking the toes, lifting ourselves up, downward facing dog. Taking a breath first. Right knee towards the centre of the mat, pressing out through the left side, so stretching out through the left side of the body. And the other side, taking the left knee in, stretching out through the right. Back to centre. So we're going to move through that little flow on the other side now, starting with warrior one. So taking the right foot out 45, left one forward, rising up, warrior one. Triangle, inhale, straighten, hips to the side, arms come out. Inhale again. Exhale, forward with the arms, taking a hand down towards the leg. Making sure everything is stacked over that front leg. So pulling the hips forward, opening through the chest, pressing our energy up through the right fingertips. Taking the gaze down, rising ourselves back up again. So we're going to do the same pose, but have the option of the bind behind us now. Inhale, exhale, moving down, either staying here or bending that right hand, reaching round towards the thigh or the t-shirt. Remember, the gaze is either upward or forward, whatever feels better for you. Gaze down to the ground, working our way back up, and then warrior two, settling down with that front leg. Take that back leg out a little bit more if we need. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Extended side angle, left forearm onto the thigh, right arm up and over the ear. Again, everything's stacked over that front leg. So you find that the bum's sticking out, chest is falling forward, bringing yourself back up, pulling the hips forward, opening the chest. Bringing ourselves back up into warrior two. And then lifting up with the arms, hooking the back toes, and then down we go into a low lunge, taking the weight forward. So the hands come down, we're going to try and bring that left foot underneath our body and taking the heel up towards the sky. So bringing it through, lifting up, with the heel. So we're either staying here, or we're going to reach around with the right arm this time, holding onto the top of the foot. Then the foot presses into the hand and we lift that foot up and away from it. And gently releasing back on our hands and knees. Let's do a round of cat-cow. Inhale. And exhale. Coming to neutral, hooking the toes, downward facing dog. Finding our breath in. And exhale. Stepping or jumping forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Back into chair. Bum down, arms up. Another couple of breaths here. Inhale, straighten. Arms down by our side, back into mountain. So we're going to do exactly the same thing again. So I'll probably do a little bit less explaining so you can really enjoy the flow of this little sequence. So bringing ourselves into mountain, ribs in, hips in, hands by our side. Inhale, onto our toes, lifting up through the fingertips. Finding your balance. Heels down into chair, rolling the arms back, settling ourselves into that chair. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, taking that halfway lift. Exhale, stepping or jumping back. Finding either a plank, coming onto your knees for chaturanga. Inhale at the top. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Up dog. Adjust the hands if you need. Lowering ourselves back down. Fingertips either side of the mat. Pressing into the ground. Inhale, lift up. And lowering back down. Locust pose, arms the length of the body. Pressing into the hips. Lifting up with legs, chest, arms, gaze forward. Lowering. And then gliding back into our child's. Lifting up slightly, walking over towards the right. Press out through the left fingertips, left hip. Moving through the other side. Right fingertips, right hip. Back through center. Take a breath. Hooking toes. Downward dog. Adjust those feet. Right knee towards the center of the mat. Stretching out through the left. Swapping sides. Back to down dog. We inhale. Exhale. Warrior one. Left foot at 45. Right one forward. Up we come. Triangle. Inhale, straighten, hips out, arms out. Inhale again. Exhale, forward. Remember, everything's stacking. Gaze down. Back into our triangle stance. Going again, inhale. Exhale. Taking that top hand behind the back if there's space to. Gaze down. Coming up. Warrior two. Just that back leg if you need, hinging that front. Right forearm onto the thigh, taking that left one up and over the air, gaze to follow if there's space. Lifting back up, warrior two. Coming into lunge, straighten the arms, hook the back toes, down we go. Hands come down, that right leg comes back and lifts up towards the sky. We either stay here or reach around with the opposite hands, pressing the foot into the hand, lifting it up and away. And releasing. Hands and knees, cat-cow in. And exhale. Neutral, down dog. Adjusting ourselves, taking a breath. Stepping or jumping forward. Inhale halfway. Forward, forward. Into chair, bum comes down, arms come up. We're going to stay here for a few breaths and we're going to move through the other side. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Step or jump back. Tabletop or plank. Inhale. Exhale with control. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Remember your adjustments. Bringing ourselves back down. Fingertips either side of the mat. Elbows up. Pressing into the ground. Working on extending through the arms. Adjust the distance away from you if you need. Lower down, locust, arms by side. Pressing into the ground, lifting up. Releasing, glide back into child's. Little side stretch, lifting up, walking over to the right. Press out through the left fingertips, pull back with the left hips. Back through centre. Let's go through the other side. Press out through the right fingertips, back with the right hips. Move through centre. Take a breath. Downward facing dog. Right knee to centre, stretch out through the left. Swapping sides. Back to down dog. Moving into warrior one. We take the right foot out 45 degrees. The left one comes forward. Up we come. Remember, it doesn't matter how many steps it takes to get it there. Triangle. Inhale, straighten. Coming out to the side, arms out. Inhale. Exhale, forward. Finding our alignment. Gaze down, coming back up. Inhale. Exhale, back into our triangle pose. Bringing that right hand behind us now if there's space. Gaze down, rising up, and then settling in to warrior two. You adjustment with the back leg if you need. Left forearm onto the thigh, right arm up and over the ear. Gaze down, back in to warrior two. Low lunge, straighten the arms, hook the back toes, drop the back knee, taking the weight forward. Hands come down. We're going to bring this left knee, the left leg rather, up behind, pressing up through the heel. And we can stay here, no pressure to take it any further, or reaching round, holding onto the top of the foot, up and away. And releasing back into our tabletop for a round of cat-cow. Inhale. Exhale. And again. Exhale. Taking the knees wide, settling back, pressing forward with the fingertips. And lifting ourselves up, and we're going to come to seated now. So you might ready just cross the feet underneath you and take the legs out long. We're going to move into a forward fold. So extending the legs. Before we do though, just take your hands by your side. We're going to move into our Dandasana. So press into the ground with the palms, extend the spine, really engage the legs. So some of you may have your heels lifting up off the ground during this pose, and as long as that feels okay, then go with it. So we're like a really strong L shape. And releasing. You want to keep hold of the legs as we move into the forward fold now. So lifting, extending, over we go. So if you can reach the feet, you want to take the hands over the top of the feet. If not, we're going to grab hold of the strap. We'll find those fingertips. Extend the chest. And bringing yourself along the length of the legs. One more here. Gently bring yourself up to seated. Just going to cross our legs here for a moment. Extend the chest. Let's take a breath together in. Exhale. Hands to prayer. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed. Namaste to you, and please enjoy as long as Shavasana as you need today. Okay? So bringing yourself onto the ground, however that is comfortable for you. Just letting your breath float back to its natural rhythm now. Just take note if we're holding on to any muscles in the body, any tension. Just mindfully just try and dissolve that. Remember, those pesky areas tend to be the shoulders and the jaw, and maybe sort of the hip area sometimes. So just try and release in your belly. Just gently recline into that space that we've carved out for ourselves.